And to the one who received 5 talents, he went out, he traded them, and he earned 5 more. And to the second, who had 2, he traded his 2, he got 2 back, and now he has 4. And to the one who received 1, he dug a hole in the ground and hid the talent in the ground until the master returned. And after a really long time, the master came back. Now he wants an accounting. What have you fine servants done with my wealth? To the one who received the 5 talents, he says, my Lord, you gave me 5, and behold, I have added another 5 to them. And his Lord said, well done, good and reliable servant. You have been faithful over little, and I will appoint much over you, and enter into your master's joy. And to the one to whom he gave 2, he says, my Lord, you gave me 2, and behold, I have added 2 more. And his Lord said, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been loyal over little, and I will appoint you over much, and enter into your Lord's joy. And then the one who received 1 said, my Lord, you're a hard man. And you reap where you did not sow, and you gather where you did not scatter. So I was afraid. And I went and hid your talent in the ground, and here it is. Here's the one you gave me. And the master says, you wicked and lazy servant. You knew me that I reap where I did not sow, and gather where I did not gather. You should have put it out. You should have put my money out and exchanged it. And when I returned, I would have demanded my own back with interest. So, take away the talent from you that has 1, and give it to the one who has 10. For it shall be given to the one who has, and to the one who has it shall increase. But he who has not, take it from him. And the idle servant was then cast out into the darkness, and there was weeping and gnashing of teeth. So if a parable is all about a setting, a familiar setting to everybody, let's make this a little bit more contemporary. So we have a businessman. He's worked long and hard in his business. He's an overall fair man, but he could be a little crotchety. But if you were loyal and if you displayed your talents and you grew who you were, he was going to support you and be loyal to you. But if he found you less than good, you were fired, just like that. He had no qualms of letting go anybody that just wasn't being the best they could be. And so it was 11 years. He had built one small location into 3 locations. He was good. But he had help. He had 3 managers along the way, and each one of those managers had demonstrated an extraordinary managerial skill. So now this businessman, he's built his business, he has 3 locations going. I'm out of here. I'm not going to close the businesses. I'm going to let these businesses flourish, but I have something more to do. I am now going to explore some new talents. And so off he went on a new adventure, leaving his company, his 3 locations, completely in charge with these 3 managers. They could do whatever it is they wanted to do. And so the first location was the biggest location. This store manager had been with the businessman since the beginning. His skill, his extraordinary talent, was identifying competition. Not only identifying the competition, but he had this uncanny ability to go out and take business away from the competition and bring it to him. Well, he built his business so much that they were overflowing, and so he just built a brand new location. He took what the building he had and he doubled it in size, literally. He got construction workers, he got loans, he got architects, and he doubled the size of that first location. Oh, he exceeded his wildest dreams. Now the second location was a little bit smaller, and this manager's talent was design and entertainment. So while he didn't make larger that location, he completely gutted the inside of the store and he made it beautiful and fun. And so people came from far and wide, and they came in because it was so beautiful. And because it was so much fun, they stayed longer. And because they stayed longer, they spent more money. And he too, over 3 years, just exceeded his wildest expectations. Now the third location, this was the smallest store. The manager here, while talented, he was afraid of the businessman. He didn't want to disappoint him because he didn't want to get fired. And he didn't explore any of his talents, and he was talented. And over the next 3 years, he didn't change a thing. You go into the store and open the store, dust, put everything right back where it was, nothing changed. Everything was exactly the way it was. It was rather ho-hum. And at the end of the 3 years, the three sales, the smallest store's sales were exactly the same. And now due to inflation, the value of those profits really had declined, so he was like less off than when he started. The parable of the talents. The first two managers as the first two servants, they trusted their instincts. They explored their creative juices. They were bold, courageous, and they went for it. They expected more, and they received more. They were fully present in their world, and their level of consciousness was a level of consciousness that could receive, right? Now the third manager, as the third servant, operated in fear. Fear always leads to limitation. Always. So that the third manager, they were static. There was no movement forward. Do you see by his choice to keep everything the way it was, he didn't open himself at all to being receptive to so much more, to greater that was out there for his taking. He had no passion. He wasn't centered around himself. His expectation was what he thought somebody else wanted, and guess what? He was not right about that. Do you see how if we don't open, we limit our ability to receive? What we expect is what we receive. Each one held a different level of consciousness. Each one held a different level of expressing and receiving. Was one right and another wrong? No. They were simply different. The choice. It's always choice. Which business manager do you want to be? We have free will. Does the size of the store matter? Does the smallest store equate to the largest store? In potential, yes, it does. It doesn't matter what's going on around us. It doesn't matter at all. Just use what you are, who you are, explore, and then be open to receive something greater. Don't compare your progress to anybody else. Don't look around and say, oh, they're moving faster than I am. It's the movement that counts, not how fast you're going. The universe does not care whether you have 5 talents, 2 talents, or 1 talent. It only matters that you use. It only matters that we know that something is greater out there and that we can tap into it. That's what matters. Always growing to a new level of adventure. White Eagle says, be true to the star. The star is our higher self. So be true to our higher selves. And then you will find that the difficulties of the earth will fall away from you, and you will be raised in consciousness to a new level